Welcome back to another series of Internship Nuggets. My name is Zach, and today we have Dr. Jerome Joseph with us. He's a global thought leader as well as a strategist, and he's actually a 10 times best-selling author for multiple books. So it's a pleasure to have him here today. So
Sure.
I will ask you a few questions
Sure,
about
Zach.
career.
Sure.
So the first question will be, so what kind of skills do you feel that is the most valuable for you throughout your career?
There's been quite a few skills that have been
Right.
of extreme value, but I'll tell you that one skill that's been very useful for me is building my personal brand.
Personal brand.
And that's been super crucial for me. It's like when you are able to build a personal brand, because when you do that, what happens is people trust you better, there's high level of credibility, you realize that you stand out in the clutter of other individuals, other organizations. So building my personal brand was something that has really helped me in my journey.
Oh, I see. So personal brand as in like how you sell yourself, am I right?
It's more than that, right?
It's more
Because
than that.
personal branding is about your purpose,
My purpose.
is how you showcase that purpose, how you showcase those values. It's also about how you stand out in the marketplace. And yes, it's about how you attract, how you sell. It's a combination of all those things.
I see.
Yeah.
So talking about personal brand, do you have any advice for especially an intern? How do they build their personal brand so that they can climb the ladder faster to where you are right now?
Okay. In fact, I coach a lot of young graduates that actually go out in the
Yes.
marketplace, and here's the fundamental problem that I see. Now I'll talk about the solution. The fundamental problem is there is a high resistance
High resistance.
to really want to brand themselves, right? And many of them are uncomfortable. They go like, I don't want to be on social media, for example, or like, why do I need to do this? And especially, it's a very Asian thing. I've spoken in 38 countries.
Oh,
And I realized that when I speak in all these countries, the Asian mindset tends to be a little bit of the, I'm from Singapore, and we call it the paiseh complex. Right?
Right.
I shouldn't say things out too loud, right?
Right,
People
right.
will notice me and say something. But there's a big difference between bragging and branding.
Okay.
And I think it's very important that a young intern goes out there and they brand themselves without feeling like, I'm not gonna offend someone.
Yes.
And here's the thing about branding, right? If you do not shout about your own brand, who's gonna do it for you?
Oh.
So this is key. So how can they do it, right? The question is,
Yes,
how
correct.
can they do this? So look, when you graduate, one of the things that you should do even before you graduate is you need to make sure that you have all your accomplishments. Everything that you have achieved in your academic life, you've achieved, not just academic, but also outside academia, right? What you have done in your community. What have you volunteered for? Who have you served? Maybe you were captain of your football team. Because all these things showcase certain things. So for example, if you're a captain of your football team, it showcases leadership. If you volunteer in old folks' home, that shows service. So all of these experiences have to be shown when in your own profile. So where does it go? So one of the key things which I tell, the young graduates, I said you need to be very visible.
Visible.
Right. So there's two things. I want to talk about visibility. I'm going to talk about credibility.
Okay.
So we'll talk about visibility first. People need to find you. So Zach, if I Google your name, what am I going to find?
Why just my LinkedIn account?
So your
that's
LinkedIn
all.
profile, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you're probably like everyone else.
Right.
But
correct.
if you Google my name and try it, right? Google Dr. Jerome Joseph, page 1, page 2, page 3, all the way to page 10, you'll probably find me. On
Oh.
page 1, it's almost all me except from the guy from India. But I'm visible. And visibility is going to be important. So it's not just LinkedIn. Maybe you should have a video about your skills and your story on YouTube, for example. By the way, who owns Google? Oh, sorry, who owns YouTube? Google. I answered that question, right? So YouTube and Google, they like each other. So having that, having your professional picture. So LinkedIn is one, YouTube is one, and maybe even your social channels. So I think it's important for you to be visible. And visibility online and offline, which means what? Join associations, join your alumni, interact with the older folks, right? Meet mentors and say, hey, can I learn from you? Can I interact with you?
Right.
And so you go to all this networking, professional networking. So for me, this is important. This visibility, offline, online is key. The second thing is credibility, which I just kind of talked about, I touched, is showcasing what have you achieved in your life. And people think, oh, I need to show, I don't have work experience, for example, then I've got nothing to showcase. But hey, credibility is not always about work experience. It's about the values that you have in your personal brand. So for example, if you used to play football in a team, all right, so maybe you're not a captain, but you played football in your school team, you're a team player.
Oh.
Correct? You're a team player.
That's right.
Right, you're a team player. That means you know how to operate in the dynamics of a team. That should be something that you could say, hey, I'm a team player. I love, I played football for my college. I represented my school. I believe in teamwork. Or if you've gone and you volunteer. Maybe it's Christmas, right? You sing carols and you go to all the old folks home and you sing Christmas songs for them. And that I've seen some people do that. Again, what is that? Service. What does it show? So if you go to an old folks home and you help out in an old folks home, what does it tell about you? So that's what organizations want to see, and that's what they want to say. Well, this is a person that's on service. They've got teamwork skills. So what your brand is needs to be demonstrated, and that's what credibility means.
Oh.
So if I'm interacting with you, I know you're a team player. I know that you are of service. I know that you are good at all these things, and that's going to help me believe that I can hire you or work with you.
Oh, I see. Wow, that's very insightful. So I just want to ask something more specific.
Sure.
So you are 10 times best-selling author for multiple books. I believe you have a very strong communication skills through the books. So I just want to ask, especially for an intern, they don't really socialize that much yet. Do you have any tips for them to improve on their communication skills?
Here's the thing, right? I mean, I know you're speaking to me and you're seeing this very lively, animated guy down here, but the fact is I'm introverted.
Oh, really?
So my character is such that, I typically like the silence. I like to be by myself. So I don't communicate a lot. But I use a word which it's called the introverted performer. So the introverted performer is someone who turns up when they need to turn up. Like this interview, right? I'm here, I'm talking, I've turned up. And I'm talking to you, I'm giving value to your audience that are listening. I'm performing a role. But in reality, because of my introvertism, I love just hiding in the corner and just chilling down and seeing, and that's okay. So one of the things that I think I want to bring across is it doesn't matter if you're introverted or extroverted. What's important is when it's time for you to shine, you must shine.
You must shine.
You must shine. You gotta turn up, right? That's full stop. You gotta turn up. So how does communication work at that perspective? Because there are many types of communication. There is, you talked about the books, that's written communication.
Yes.
You talk about social media, that's the content that you put out, again, that's written. And you talk about the way you talk, like we are talking now. So all these things are different types of communication. Not everyone's going to be great at all these types of communication. So pick your lane. Pick the skill where you feel that you can shine the most. So for example, maybe an extrovert, he or she loves being in crowds and going up and talking to people. And great, pick that lane. Spend more time building that skills, right? To really shine in that environment. Well, it doesn't mean you ignore the rest. You need to develop it, but communication isn't just about writing something. Communication is about showcasing your personal brand to the world in the best possible way. So that's the key behind communication. It's about showcasing your personal brand in the best possible way every single time.
Oh, wow, I see.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I just want to ask something about more towards your internship experience.
Sure.
So if you're comparing now, the internship now and back then, I believe there is a huge difference, right? As an intern. So what is the difference that you feel?
I did my internship in Australia.
Australia?
So I used to live in Melbourne, and my first job was an intern in a public relations agency, I think somewhere in 1995, I think. So that's a long time.
That's a long time. That's almost,
so I was there, and I remember my first job. I came into a PR agency, and my boss came into me and goes, "Okay, good, mate. You're a PR agency. We're gonna make you work." And they sent me to the newsroom or the storeroom, and back then there was no digital archives, right?
Correct.
So and what they do in PR is that basically you have to cut press releases. So if you're a brand and you appear in a newspaper, I need to cut out the article and stick it to show it as evidence that the PR agency did the work. So he goes in the room, there are thousands of newspapers, and he goes, "Here are the 8 brands that we're looking for. Go and search through all the papers and cut out and stick it into a folder." And that was my first month in the job. I go in the rooms, dusty storeroom, and I just cut, open newspaper, cut. And it was a terrible internship.
It
was terrible. But that was what it was like in the past, right? Because I think interns in the past, from my experience, were used as cheap labor.
Cheap labor.
And I think that's a terrible thing that an organization could ever do to an intern. What I believe should happen today, and I don't know whether it is because I've not had an intern work for me for a long time, but what should happen today is about using an intern and helping develop them. They need to be developed, they need to be taught things. Of course, they have to work hard because everyone works. I mean, I worked hard. I cut thousands of newspapers daily, right? But you got to work hard, but it's also about making sure that when they leave you, they leave with value, they leave with something tangible. And then you have done your part to help them grow. So I think that's important for leaders who are listening to this, is that if you have interns, take time to invest in them. Now, they may not end up working for you, but you have done something valuable that they will never forget you for. And I think that is the true mark of a true leader.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for your time. That's such a great advice for me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.